Okay, everybody's coming.
Great.
Let's give them.
Hi. Hi again.
Okay. Okay. I think that's Emmanuel here. Okay. That's all of us. Yes.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. So the second book I would recommend, it's The Power of Now. It's really nice. It takes time to read it because it's not so simple. It gives you really insights and reflections to think about.
Catalina, sorry, this book is in English or in Portuguese or in Spanish?
In every language. It's called El Poder de la Hora, The Power of Now, in every version.
And you suggest to read it in English or in Spanish, for example?
I think it's better in English because I think he's a German, but he lives in the United States. So it's better to read the book in the original language that was written. Because the traductions are not so well done, but you can choose. And because you need to practice your English. So it's a really good way of practicing your English with Ernest.
Okay.
Okay, and there was another little book that is called Autoresponsability. It's called Autoresponsabilidad, or in Portuguese, Autoresponsabilidade, because the author is from Brazil, but I think it's in other languages. It's really a little book, but it took me a really long time to read it. It's because he makes us realize how our responsibility of ourselves is the first responsibility that comes in life. As all of you spoke about, that it's important to take care of ourselves in order to make our daily activities and to take care of our family and of others comes first. But our self-care comes with our responsibility of taking care of ourselves. So that's one of the first things that we have to put like in our mind. Which are my responsibilities? We are accustomed to. I'm responsible of studying, of becoming a really great person on my career, and I'm responsible of living in a really great house. I'm responsible of having a good job. But are you responsible of yourself? The place where you work, now that we are working in home office, is your home and is your chair and is your computer and is your teclado. Keyboard, thank you. Is your keyboard at the right height in order for you to work so that you don't have back pain or in your lumbar part or a pain that comes in your shoulders or in your hands? So it has to be a good place, and we don't think about that. Like, is the chair that we are sitting at a good chair to have a forum that it's like about 2 hours long, or maybe working 8 hours a day? And how much of these 8 hours do we take, or the 12 hours that we have during the day? How many or how much time of these hours do we take for us, for doing exercise, for sleeping well, for doing a little nap or siesta, for doing yoga, or for being seated down and thinking about nothing, or being with our loved ones? most of the time we are working, right? But it's important to have these little spaces between every hour to go for a tea or drink some water and to see if we are really seated in a good position, because this will get an impact in what we are doing and in our health, as well as eating well and getting a good rest at night. And now I think that with the pandemics, we have been thinking more about this because we were obliged to come to our home, to come to ourselves, and we had the time to realize, right? Because we are not just only working, we are also caring about what is happening with everyone around the world. So it brought the time to see ourselves, to learn techniques on how it is important to love ourselves and take care of ourselves in order to do our daily activities and to care for others. This is really important. So I would like to know if you want me to, we can do an exercise, a really simple exercise from some minutes in order to stimulate like the relaxing time or like a meditation in order to that you can practice this in your daily life. Would you like that?
Yes. Would you like
does
it? Yes.
Of course.
Does someone of you practice meditation or yoga or
Me.
I would like to know.
Me too.
Yeah.
Since when?
I have been practicing meditation for 1 year. I have a little problem because I wake up every morning at 3 p.m. So a friend of mine told me that's a good time to practice a meditation for 15 minutes. And then you go to sleep again. And that's the time that I do meditation. Like,
great. Alejandra?
Yeah, I start in December of 2019 because I want to become a Buddhist. So I start in a Buddhist center. So yes, I do this kind of meditation every day. Yeah, I try to do it.
Okay. And the other ones, have you thought about doing meditation sometime or not?
I used to.
You used to, but you don't now.
No, some time in time.
Okay, sometimes. Great.
I would like to do, but I think that something that helps me with, like to keep relaxed and to have a good time with myself. Every night I pray for maybe 20 minutes with my family, with my mom and my dad. And I think it's a good exercise too, because I stimulate a lot of, like good vibes, family union, peace. And so I don't know if that's some type of meditation or whatever, but that's something that I do daily in my life. And I think it has been a good experience for me. So yes, but yoga and those things, no, I haven't.
Great.
Who else?
I practice meditation or yoga for around 6 years, but then I decided to change for other activities. But yoga is good for obtain that the relax. For me, was not easy to meditate. I tried for 6 months, and then for the 6 months, I can't meditate because it's not easy. In the first or second session, the people say, "Oh, I can meditate." No, no, it's difficult. We need to take a time for obtain or make the first a good meditation.
Great.
No more?
Okay, someone else or?
I practice yoga before I had my son, maybe 11 years ago. Then my son, I couldn't, or no, I couldn't. I had a good time for practice yoga because it's a good practice for breathe, for to keep calm, to maintain equilibrium. But currently I I don't practice yoga, but I practice or training with my sister in early every day.
Great. Is it everyone? Okay.
Well, Carlota, don't you practice yoga or something like that?
No, currently. Maybe 2 years ago, I practiced mindfulness, but because in KPMG, the company that when I work, pay for us a course of mindfulness. I really love this experience, no? And I promised in that time that I continue practicing, but I don't do it anymore. I need to retake, yes, this activity because it's really relaxed. Thank you.
Okay, great. So why did I ask you? It's because I think that there's not only one activity that we can do. It's not only yoga, it's not only meditation. As we saw, some people like to do exercise. For others, meditating it's really difficult, so they chose to do other things. For others, going to doing exercise brings a lot of more benefits. And so I made the question because of this. Everyone can choose a different activity. It doesn't have to be just one, like yoga, meditation, mindfulness only. No, it can be reading, it can be sleeping, it can be taking a bath, it can be cooking. It's whichever activity that brings you a good moment with yourself can be considered as a really self-care moment. And it can be for 1 minute, for 2, for 3, for 20. It depends on yourself. And the important thing is that you have the time and you give yourself the time to do this. I think it was Margarita that told us that she practiced yoga before she was a mother, but then afterwards, because of the time with the children, it's really difficult to have self-care moments, but it's important to have them as well, or dividing them with your children, or being alone. And it's okay. It's not something that a mother should blame herself about, to have time for herself. It is as well as important. So I'm gonna open here during the pandemics, I started doing yoga. I didn't do that before because I always promised myself that I wanted to practice, but I didn't reserve the time for that. And since in the pandemics, I started having some teleconsultation online. I could have the time to start practicing this. And I found a really good yoga professor that she actually is from Brazil, but she lives in the United States, in Los Angeles. And she created her courses online. And she gives many of her classes are for free. And I saw one that really I'm looking for it just a bit because I want to do it with you. It's about 10 minutes, so I think it would be good. And this is a good exercise that we can do when we are working in home office, right? So we are going to do some exercises that are considered in yoga and to elongation, estiramientos, stretching, and for stretching, right? So if you want to do it with me, is it okay? Or if you prefer, I can send you the link of the video so that you can have it afterwards. But she talks about, I don't know if we can do it now.
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, we have time.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, just a bit.
Lockdown.
I'm gonna try. So we can be like seated down in front of a desk, and we are just gonna relax our shoulders. And for the initial moment, we are gonna take an inspiration. I'm gonna count until 4. Then we stop our respiration. We just stop, wait, and then we were gonna count until 6 to exhale all the air, right? So I'm gonna start. We inhale in 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop, maintain. And then it comes out through the nose. So when we inhale, it's 4 seconds. We stop it for 4 seconds more, and then we exhale for 6 seconds. So it's 4 maintained and 6 to exhale, okay? So we are starting now. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, retain, 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another one, inhale. Exhale. So this is a respiration technique that helps us to relax our mind and our bodies. After doing 3 cycles of this respiration, then we can start with the exercise, right? So we can move our shoulders. And now we're gonna get our right hand. Do you see like this part of your hand? You're gonna put it in your left ear in here, and just come here. Always with your backbone straight, right? You can close your eyes a bit. Pode exhalar pela boca para up. You can exhale through your mouth and relax this part of your bone. Then we're going to put our hand in our right ear and come to the middle. Take a really big inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to do it with the other hand. Exhale if you want through the mouth. Com a mão para esse lado aqui, de novo. We go to the center. I'm sorry because I'm hearing in Portuguese. Inhale, exhale. We go with our chin downwards. We do like a now to relax this part of our neck. Remember to inhale and exhale. And with our hand, we help come here. Now we go backwards. Open your mouth and exhale. Relax all of your body, your neck, and the front part, and then your shoulders, your backbone. Inhale and exhale. Then we come back. E vamos fazer we can do some round circles with our head to one side and to the other. Inhale, going back, and exhale, going in the front. We are in the center again. And we are going to move our shoulders. Inhale, go back, and exhale, down. Inhale, and exhale, going backwards. Inhale, going in front. Inhale, go back, and exhale. Now we go from backwards, in front, and then down. 3 times. Now here in the middle again. And we are going to put our hands in the front at the level of our shoulder. And then we are going to cross our right hand on top, our right elbow on top of our left elbow. And like this. Just here. And if you can put your hands one beside the other. It's here, like first you cross and do this. And then you maintain your elbow in the same line of your shoulder. Not downwards, but always in this line. Inhale and exhale. It's like you were securing a sword in your hands. Always your shoulders downwards. It's okay. And then in the line of your elbows. Inhale and exhale. You feel that like in here, right? All of this is stretching. And now we are changing to the other arm. So we put again our hands in front. Now our left elbow, it's coming up of our right elbow, right? Then we put the hands nearby, if we can. And then we inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Okay, and then we can relax. Now we're gonna come with our shoulders up, like if it was our earrings. Inhale, and then exhale. Once more, inhale, exhale. Okay. And now we are doing an exercise for our hands. We are always in the keyboard and doing things with our hands, but we don't think about relaxing them. So this is a good exercise You can imagine that you have a coin in the top of your hand. Your fingers, the thumbs can be down, right? And always the shoulder and the elbow in the same alignment as with your hand, right? So we are going to imagine that we have a coin and we're gonna make circles. It's not like this, but it's like this because the coin can't get down. So you do this movement to the middle and then to the side. For 10 times each, okay? We can relax now. And now we're going to do this with our hands. Open it and close it. Once more. That's great, guys. Thank you. So it's a little kind of meditation and relaxing time that I think it's really important because we are all the day in the computer or with our cell phones, and we don't think about our articulations, about the time of stopping for 5 minutes and do just some stretching for a while. Are you feeling again well? The first time I did it, I couldn't do this movement as well. And it hurt a lot in here because we are not accustomed to. We get so many of our stress of the daily day comes here in the neck and in the shoulders, but we don't stretch it. So how does it gonna come out? It's difficult. So it's important at least every hour, get a little minute for you, or for going for a coffee or drinking water or going to the bathroom, doing some exhalation and inhalation, some respiration techniques, or you can make a stretch movement that will help you in your daily jobs now. And it can be done, they are simple, so you can do this with your sons or with your daughters. And it's a really good thing to start doing this more frequently.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Questions, please, students, questions? Who has a question?
I have a question, Catalina.
That you wanna say? Mm-hmm.
Yes,
yeah.
I have a question. Do you think as a doctor, does the stress can start a healthy problem in your body?
Yeah, totally. It has to do with different kinds of doenças, sickness. It has to do with everything, with many things. Actually, I was surprised when I started working as a dermatologist and studying dermatology, because I didn't know how the emotions could influence our mental health, could influence in our skin health. There are many skin conditions that are triggered and are by mental health illness. And it's so evident that most of my patients, if not all, I recommend them to do self-care techniques and to go to the psychologist or the psychiatrist if needed. Most of them.
For the skin problems?
Yeah. The skin, hair, nails, it has relationship. And it's an area that I'm really getting passionate about. That's one of the reasons why I'm speaking to you about self-care, because there, as a doctor, I need to prove, because I am a scientific person. And so I've always needed to prove things to understand them. And now I know that I don't have to prove everything, because sometimes some things happen even though we have like the proof or not. For example, we believe in God, but many people don't believe in that, or
Faith.
we believe in a good energy that's out of us, but I can't prove it, I can't touch it. So for me it was difficult for a time, right? But this is important to know, and one of the reasons I'm talking about this, it's because it's a medical, it has been proven by doctors that we have a system in our bodies that it's called the neurocutaneous endocrine system, neuroendocrino cutáneo, right? So whatever happens in our neurologic part has an impact in our endocrinology, which is the hormones. Mm-hmm. And the hormones always influence the skin. So stress has to do with a lot of sickness, not only of the skin, but one of the areas where I have seen it that it does trigger, it's in dermatology. So it has many things to do.
I have a question, Catalina.
Yeah, of course.
What do you think about to cry is better for our health, or what do you think about that?
That's a great question. It's good. It's good, and I recommend it for everyone because it's a way of leaving our emotions outside. And we live in a society where men and boys are restricted or almost prohibited of crying, because we hear a lot of time, you're a man, you can't cry. That's not true. You can cry. And it's important because it's one of the easiest ways to let emotions out. I think this is one of the reasons why we can live in a really violent society. And unfortunately, some of our men are really aggressive because they don't have the opportunity to get their emotions free because they are prohibited from it since little. So it's really good to cry. Now, there are some people that maybe it's not the best technique because they cry and keep crying and crying and crying and crying and don't find a solution and don't feel the relaxation emotion or the relief that they need after crying. So when this doesn't happen, it's better to do other kinds of things like doing exercise or drinking a tea, or recognizing one activity that you really get your mind out of the stressful moment and feel good with yourself. So it's good to cry when you know that you can release things and you have the time to do it. It's important. It's important.
Thank you. My husband listens your answer.
That's great.
Yes, because
it's important.
Understand me when I to cry for anything, for little things. I feel better when I to cry.
Okay, that's good. The other thing is that sometimes when crying becomes too frequent, it's important to see a psychology or a psychiatrist because it can be triggered by little stimuli, because there's something bigger happen that you haven't realized or taking free, like liberar.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe it can be important in this way. So actually, my mother, when she sees me cry, she doesn't like it because she thinks that I'm passing a bad time. But I learned to cry with me, and sometimes when I speak with her, because it just comes. And she's like, I know, don't cry. I'm worried about you. And you're so far away from me. I just have you through the camera. But then I told her, for me, it's good because I'm liberating. In 5 minutes, I will be okay. And I will be feeling great just because I could get out my emotions. So it's good to cry. And for men as well. It doesn't mean that you're being a weenie or that you're being like kind of a woman guy. No, it's needed. And it's important to get the time to do it. And if you are ashamed of that, just go to the bathroom and cry alone when you have time.
Okay. Ana Torres, do you have a question?
Well, it's not a question. I just wanted to know, like, thank Catalina and maybe make a conclusion for myself, like talking about my case. I wanted to say, like, you know, sometimes I think we rush through everything in life. Like, I'm barely 19 years old and I am already thinking about my future, you know, my job, when I graduate, my career, what I want to specialize in. And I have even questioned my skills with my career. And, you know, Catalina, sometimes I forget that I am still very young and I have a whole life ahead of me. And sometimes it is okay to think about myself and my well-being, to take a break from how do you say that? Eagerness?
Eagerness?
Like a fan? Yes. I recently thought about it and it is very true. And I think that we ourselves are the only permanent thing in our lives. So I think we deserve all the love that can be given to ourselves. So thanks for this moment, for the exercise, for your words, for talking about your experience, because I think it's very important for us to take into account ourselves as a human being and to be healthy. You know, this is a healthy position that we have to assume.
Great, Ana. Thank you. I'm really pleased.
Excuse me. Okay.
I think Juan David wants to speak.
Yes, by the way. In this session, we only have rest 2.3 minutes. So I guess that all of you have more questions. This time, I already sent all of you the third session, okay? Because we don't have enough time for Juan David's and Alejandra's and Anna's questions, no? So I don't know, let's go to the other one. And if it's only 10 minutes or 15, it's okay.
It's okay. If you can come, it would be good. The ones that can't come to the third session, really thank you for being here and for sharing with me your experiences and your questions. And feel free to write to me if you need anything.
Okay.
Ernesto has my contacts.
Okay, I will send them to you. Okay, so all the ones that can, please go to the third session. The ones that couldn't, I'll send you the video and you can see how it is, okay? So let's go to the third session, please.
Let's go.